Hello everyone, and what a nice clear day that we are having here in Twin Ring Motegi here in Tochigi. It's the final round of the 2024 Formula Hall Japan Tsuyo Cup. It's the finale Grand Prix at Motegi coming right up for you. So that out of the way, let's not waste too much time. Let's take a look into the track map for the final race of the season. For the finale Grand Prix at Motegi, this time we actually have the proper track. 4.79 kilometers of racetrack with 14 corners. 64 laps is to come, just like what we've seen in the Zako Cup. Now we got 64 laps of racing. Target lap time 1:33.839. We've seen a 1:33.0 in the race yesterday. We did initially say that Minato Aqua's final race in the ARO. Why did we not write that part in Japanese? This is what happens on the one-person view of everything. But anyways, this is also will be double billing as the Akamata closes final race in Formula Hololive competitions. This is also a finale venue for Formula Hololive, so make that what you will. Actually, don't make that what you will. This is actually the finale venue of Formula Hololive, so a lot of excitement up in the air for in the context of the finale round, as well as the championship contenders that is coming into this entire round as potential champions. So anyways, let's introduce everyone to the split, the overall trophy, which is essentially the Tsuyo Cup trophy, to be given to the winner of the Tsuyo Cup at the end of this race. So as you can see here, 2024 Formula Hall Japan Tsuyo Cup champion written all over the base of the trophy. So yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see who will have their names etched in that trophy. So it's gonna be very exciting to see how it's going to play out. So with that being said, let's take a look into the final championship standings for Split A. Just want to give a bit of a recap. So after Yuta Asano got spun out by Alex Gunn, by which Alex Gunn would have received a 30-second time penalty as a result. We also have the likes of Sean Pauli, who was in the position to win the Tsuyo Zako Cup title. He needed a third or better to snatch the title away from Yuta Asano. However, that didn't happen. And so Yuta Asano won the championship from the pit lane, which is not the most ideal, but hey, he won 2 races and got a second place in the 3 races that came before it. So is there a reason to be not excited? So yeah, so anyways, that's the Zako Cup wrapped up. So here we also have the Tsuyo Cup, actually. The Tsuyo Cup. We have the Tsuyo Cup championship standings. Just wanted to have everyone take a look into it. So we have Michael Turner at 444 points, Daniel Goyena at 421 points, and Cameron River at 412 points. I just wanted to write actually something. Wanted to write actually well, I should update this later. Anyways, these 3 of these drivers are actually the favorites to win the Tsuyo Cup title. Michael Turner, of course, has the best seat in the house, and if he does win here, it will be game over for everyone. Same goes for Pauli against Danilo Goyena. Cameron River probably needs a win and hope that Turner and Goyena finish 3rd or lower. Richie, Misaki Sakura, Jay Goodwin, and Daniel Barker, on the other hand, are long shots to win the Tsuyo Cup title. So anyways, that's gonna be it for the explanation for the championship contenders. Then we also have the Marshall, Richikazuki, Liu, Young, Sobyang, and Oliver Williams, Houston Rio, Sky, Alson, Tanara, Duciem, Horatio, Tamayuki, Aoki, Kizuhara, Leo, essentially filling up the field for the qualifying sessions. So anyways, apologies if we are going to apologies if we are going to delay the start of qualifying, as we are actually going to move the announcement of actually the Tsuyo qualifying is going to be delayed by around 2 minutes as we are about to, actually, how do we put this? Actually write an announcement regarding Sarah Fauna's graduation from Hololive. Yes, we are going to also report to you from the Adak-RMS organization that yes, Sarah Fauna is going to graduate from Hololive from January the 3rd, 2025. So we are going to write about the announcement in the Arrow channel if you're in it. Well, for the fellow drivers, I would like to specify so anyways, we are actually gonna finally get this qualifying session underway. Again, we apologize for the slight hiccup on the timing there, but we now actually have the full qualifying session properly underway. So right now there's no time for tears. We'll save that for later. So we got the first cars out on track. Alton Taro, Daniel Barger, and Hoshizono Ryo being the first drivers out on the racetrack. So there's a lot of intrigue here, especially for the likes of Daniel Barger, now bearing a new flag on his car. Very nice to see. And also one thing to note here, Daniel Barger comes into this Tsuyo Cup battle with the hardest battle out of anyone so far if he wants to win the Tsuyo Cup from 7th in the standings. So if you want to look at the odds for every driver, so if we look at this one, Koyena and Riba probably need 3rd place and hope that Michael Turner doesn't finish in the top 3 or rather in the top 2 for them to have a chance to win the Tsuyo Cup title. But for, let's say for this driver specifically, Daniel Barger, he needs to win and hope that the top 3 finish outside of the points and the other 3 drivers finish outside of the top 5. So anyway, let's take a look into the onboard lap for Daniel Barger here in Motegi. As you can see, you get a good exit off of the final corner to start your flying lap. Right at a 50-meter board for the first 2 corners, and of course in this first 2 corners you have to treat that as a single right-hander, and then there's a pretty long one of the back straights. You brake at a 70-meter board into turn 3 and into turn 4. Open yourself up into turn 4 for this also pretty decently length back straight into turn 5. Into the 50-meter board as he now goes for a strike. Going off into the outside of the oval into turn 6. And into the sweeping S at turn 7 and 8. 4th gear on that corner. Trying to hook it up as well as he can. And now coming into turn 9. And hang on in 2nd gear, so you know it's a slow corner. And also you have the hairpin, one of the other slowest corners of the circuit, but you need a good exit from that corner for you to have a good run into the back straight. And then breaking right into the 75-meter mark into turn 11, hook the car up very nicely, and into turn 12. And then probably just straight line turns 13 and 14, the final chicane. And that should be a lap here in Twin Ring Motegi as the first drivers will set their laps. And Barger's only able to set a 33.744. So already we are seeing the lap time targets be beaten. Promising stuff here. promising stuff as far as parity goes, as Hoshizano Rio goes top. Kaczynski's getting also close to the top, with Barger not far behind. Riba 4th and Tannerow 5th. Ricci 6th, Goodwin 7th. Ryu in his final Formula Hololive qualifying for Sakamoto Chloe, he will be in 4th place. Daniel Goyena is now your provisional pole sitter after winning the Tsuyo Cup race earlier in October, and Michael Turner has the ability to respond just like that with a 133.364 that puts him second in the Tsuyo Cup qualifying. Still a long way to go before the end of this qualifying session, and there's still a lot of things to play for. Tomoyuki Aoki, after essentially going to Takane Loi number 61 after vacating the number 22 to Zeke Wimberley, Tomoyuki Aoki is now currently in 9th place, but not before Misaki Sakura. 132.845 for the Himamori Luna driver making her debut. And yes, apologies if she is borrowing a former driver's helmet because the host just doesn't have the time. Jay Goodwin, oh my goodness, that's a good lap from Goodwin for him to get himself in a position to win, well, get closer to the top. But this requires Michael Turner to not have a good qualifying session. And Tomoyuki Aoki now improves her position as the new Takane Loi driver. She now gets into 5th place. Daniel Goyena does improve with 132.813, bringing Sakura down into 2nd place and puts Daniela Goyena in a realistic position to win the Tsuyo Cup if results stand as it is. So with this qualifying session continuing to take shape, we now get to see the permutations going by. Riba down in 13th place. 8 goes to Michael Turner. If Goyena can hang on to the lead and win this race, then he will win the Tsuyo Cup. No chance for the other driver like Sakura and Goodwin and Ricci and also Daniel Barger. Barger sitting in 9th and also Goodwin 3rd. Ricci's up down in 18th, unfortunately. And Vlasa Damasha has had troubles with the car, as you can see here. Yeah, he's having troubles with his number 19 Aki Rosenthal car. So as you can see here, he's just struggling to, you know, get his car out. So it's very, very unfortunate. For the rest of the cars, it's all to schedule, to say the least, as Jake Goodwin now sets a fastest first sector. Just want to remind everyone that Motegi actually has a unique sector system that borrows it from motorcycle racing, that it has 4 sectors instead of 3. So right now Joe Goodwin is doing very well in one of the sectors. So it's a interesting sight to see the drivers finally still getting a good run here. Jay Goodwin still very, very quick there. He is looking for a spot in the top 2. Unfortunately, he has decided that now it's time to go to the pits. So anyways, we're coming to 6 minutes of qualifying. Just wanted to get off the mic for a while to get something off. Anyways, back here in Twin Ring Motegi, and Jay Goodwin again went back to the pit lane to get his car just a bit service. As you now see Kabayuki Aoki now start her flying lap, of course, as the new Saraswano driver, as the new Takane Louis driver. The news hasn't fully set into us, so as she's now coming into turns 3 and 4, Tomoyuki Aoki is not the favorite to get into pole position, though. It doesn't look to me that she's able to improve. I mean, right now, Motegi is very, very cold, and you need a lot of warmth on the tires. As Lorenz Ricci now get into 16th place. As Lorenzo Ricci now trying to essentially get himself back into position here, as he is about 0.3 of a second behind. Unfortunately, there is an issue of traffic. Here is Rim Oligor and Maverick. You see him right in front of him, both of them sitting in the 9th row as we speak. Still a long way to go. Kizuhara Leo, meanwhile, is now currently in 9th place, sporting, of course, the new Murasaki Shion logo on the side pods of the car. As Leo also comes into the pits. Apologies if the commentary is going to be very, very lackluster. I forgot to also introduce myself. I'm Momo Shinzo in the commentary booth. And this is literally just me. I'm the only one in the commentary booth. So I had to rest the throat and all that. So anyways, as the qualifying session is about to conclude for the Tsuyo Cup, for the final Tsuyo Cup qualifying session of the day, of the season, Sobyang-eun coming into the 3rd sector. 4 sectors here apparently for Motegi due to bike racing. And as you can see here, Sobyang has also decided to come into the pits. So we got the likes of, that looks like Tanarado up in 6th place and Kizuhara Leo in 9th. And also, there's injuries in my mouth as well, so I cannot really speak as well as should it be. Looking at the drivers who have yet to get out, it's Gorichi Barger, who's now down in 11th, Young in 7th. Barger really needs to win here if he wants to keep his title hopes alive. Same goes for Jay Goodwin, and speaking of the devil, he does head at 132.669, around 14/10 of 1400ths of a second faster than Daniel Goyena. And speaking of which, really Liu, holy moly, that's really up with a 132.780, or rather 770, as he now gets into, or rather, that is the 760, 132.760 is the lap time by Liu, as he now sets the fastest first sector. Liu wants to go out with a bang here for Sakamata Chloe, given that this is the final race for him for Sakamata Chloe. And now Liu completing the 2nd sector again with the fastest drive. It's the fastest time out of anyone so far. Liu is a man on a mission. Of course, 2 things will be coming into Liu's motivation and optimism. He was the fastest car at Motegi in the Hololive GT3 Zaku Series race, and unfortunately, it looks to me that he's been blocked by the driver in front, Hoshizuna Ryo, who's sitting in 14th at the moment, so he won't be seeing any improvements in the final 2 sectors, unfortunately. You can see how much really was blocked. Tomoyuki Aoki now set her side to get up closer. That will be Ryu's qualifying over. Unfortunately for him, he does at the very least have the second place in his credit in his final qualifying session for Sakamata Chloe. And now we have Daniel Barger now trying to go for one lap. One more lap here for Daniel Barger as he's now coming in to see if he's able to improve his positions. Again, a bit slow on that first sector, only 0.04 of a second on the first sector as Kyle Williams now gets up into 5th place. Still 7 cars yet to cross the line. And you can see he's already fast there on the first 2 sectors. He is going to be set to go score his first pole position in, or rather he has already scored a lot of pole positions for Formula Hololive, but he is going to be in a position to score his Formula Hololive win. So we are going to look into the records here for Daniel Barger. So Barger's only got 2 pole positions, all of them in the 2023 season. He's failed to score a pole position in 2020 in the 2024 season thus far, but he can change it today, as he is going to be committed to complete the lap. He is on a charge right now. His first 3 sectors are already very, very promising. He is going to cross the line, and it's not going to be enough. Daniel Barger will at the very least start 5th. He is going to go Baron in 2024. Last driver out. And that should be the last driver crossing the line, as we are going to go for a slight intermission. We have Jake Goodwin on pole position. Jake Goodwin has already scored 1 pole position for Fuwa Bisgard. This is going to be his 3rd pole position of his career. His 2nd for Okami in this race, the finale Grand Prix at Motegi. That out of the way, with that being said, let's take a look into the starting lineup here for the finale Grand Prix at Motegi, which will serve as a final race of multiple proportions actually. So let's take a look into the starting lineup for the finale Grand Prix at Motegi Tsuyo Cup race. We have Jake Goodwin and Ryu sitting on the front row, with Jake Goodwin on pole positions, beating Ryu by 0.09 of a second. The Okami driver sits on pole position. And then we have Ryu driving for Sakamata Chloe in Sakamata Chloe's final race in Formula Hololive Japan. Same goes for Ryu. There's going to be a lot of emotions coming in for this driver and for the team involved. Danielle Goyeno will try to win the Tsuyo Cup from 3rd place. We'll see how it goes for her. Misaki Sakura on her Formula Hololive debut will start 4th for Himamori Luna. Daniel Barger starts 5th for Hoshimachi Suisei. Tyler Williams 6th for Amani Kanata. Tomoyuki Aoki 7th for Takane Lui in her debut race for the Lui Tomo. Martin Garaccio 8th for Lapless Darkness, with Raji Kaczynski 9th for Yuzuki Choco, and Elson Tanaro 10th for Nekawata Akayu. Subyoung in 11th for Shiranagi Flair, with Kizuhara Leo 12th for Murasaki Shion, with Michael Turner starting in 13th place. This is not where he wants to win the Tsuyo Cup. So Coach Susanna Rio starts 14th for Nakari IMA, with 15 going to Kaminari River for Shishiro Botan. So it's not going to be in Daniel Goyena's hands. Lawrence Rishiji starts 16th for Jose Marine, Rim Olgor 17th, Maverick Duciem 19th, and Vlasa Damashev 20th. He only is able to set 1 lap time. And also just want to highlight to you all that Ed Sky also has problems in his car. So we're going to have a serious chance of only seeing 18 cars race. So with that out of the way, let's take a look into the grid as we're about to start the race here in Twin Ring Motegi. Get to see Ryu on the front row, lining up alongside Jake Goodwin, who is currently looking for his Tsuyo Cup title from further back. Let's see if that is going to be something of a possibility. And now we are gonna be set for the final race of the 2024 Formula Hololive Japan season. The finale 500 at Motegi Tsuyo Cup race is underway. And Jay Goodwin having a very good launch at the start. Really is going to settle for second. We are going to take a look further back to see if there are any potential crashes for the back. And that is going to be Tyler Williams almost losing control at turn 2. And Daniel Goyena is not going to try to absolutely make his charge into the top of the charts here, as he wants to have the CO Cup, as more drivers are going to jostle for position, especially further back. It's Goodwin leading the finale Grand Prix at Motegi, and it's going to be Ryu, Daniel Goyena, Misaki Sakura, Daniel Barger, Tyler Williams, Rustin Garashia, Tomoyuki Aki, Al Santana, and Ryuji Kazutsky. Side by side at the right hand, number 40S. As you can see, Lorenzo Ricci now going down the inside of Rim Olga for 16th place. And finally, you get to see at least DuCM and Ed Sky running their races after starting from the back, not setting a good lap time, but they are still good, as they're now getting up into 18th and 19th. DuCM is now down in 20th place. Lorenzo Ricci now trying to defend against Rim Olgor. He now fights back. Very great racing here in Twin Ring Motegi and to start off this race. Meanwhile, we got Vlasa Damasha trying to go around the outside of Rim Olgor. Oh, going off the curb there and almost spitting out the car there, Damasha. Fortunately, he's able to keep the car under control. Goodwin continues to showcase dominance in this race, but it will be all for naught, as Daniel Goyena is now currently in 3rd place. And as it stands, oh, there's 2 cars spinning. That's Tyler Williams and Daniel Barger. In the second lap was contact between Barger and Williams, and now it's going to be Daniel Barger reaching the gravel. He will finish last in the final race of 2024. Suisei also pretty committed to the bright uniform. This is not what the Hoshihamamis wanted to see. Anyways, we have the Leo and Kaczynski now trading blows between each other down into the side-by-side, into the S's. Turn 7 and 8. And also I got Etsky and Rim Olga continuing to fall down the ladder of the running order, as he's now down in 18th. As we are going to pay attention to Saki Sakura, who is now running in 4th, but not before. We are taking a look into Kamen River overtaking Michael Turner. This is not going to change the CO Cup in any capacity as to who's going to win it, but it will probably mean that either one of these drivers will hang on to 3rd place, especially given that Sakura is also having a great race of her own so far. Jay Goodwin and now Ryu saying the fastest lap of the race, 135.353 for the Sakamoto Chloe driver. This is Zahara Leo also trying to make his move. More potential battles coming up soon, as we are now going to be taking a look into the race field monitor. Daniel Barger's out of the race again. It's very, very unfortunate to see him in this capacity. Looking at the other drivers here, it's going to be pretty much the same from yesterday. Some will be pitting in the early stages of the race at around lap 23, lap 24. Some will be pitting very, very late, like Sobyang-eun. Our trading places between each other once again, and we're seeing more side-by-side battles, especially between Kaczynski and Leo as well. Kaczynski is going to try to peel in down the inside of Leo, but fails to do so. Meanwhile, Turner and Riba are going to go side by side, especially coming into the final chicane. Both drivers are going to mess up their approach here, so that's going to open the door for Lorenzo Ricci to possibly make a move down the inside into turn 1. Miyake though now says the fast lap of the race. And just wanted to check the fastest lap time as we kind of missed it. 1:35.017 for Tomomi Miyake. She's doing very, very well there to catch up to the rest of the field. Now it's not like Joshua Asahi's pretty dominant win last time out. So it's going to be a case of, you know, a close-fought battle between Liu and Goodwin. Goodwin, of course, needing a win here to keep his title hopes alive. And just needs Daniel Goyena to finish way down for Goodwin to win the Tsuyo Cup. But now Liu is going to be on the hunt against Jay Goodwin. We got Jay Goodwin fighting for what should be the final race should be the race that will seal the title for Okami Mio and the Miofa, as well as Goodwin himself, and also between him is Liu. Between him and the potential Tsuyo Cup win is currently Liu is currently driving with purpose, driving in his final race for Sakamata Chloe in Formula Hololive. Of course, it looks to me that by 2025, Liu will not be in the 2025 roster. Daniel Goyena now with the fastest lap, 1:34.794. Most likely going to be a three-horse affair for the battle for the race win. Liu still trying to chase. Of course, seeing his rival Joshua Asahi win in the Tsuyo Cup, this should spur Liu to do great things, as he is now going to absolutely run it through. As he's now trying to catch up to Jake Goodwin. About to complete 5 laps here, and the parity is even better than the Zako Cup. As you can see here, Liu is now going to try to once again get back into Jake Goodwin, but Jake Goodwin has been very, very quick there. As Jake Goodwin now sets the fastest lap of the race, 0.7 of a second faster than Liu on the last lap. So Goodwin is currently the one to watch, but also taking a look into the race field monitor. He actually has a pretty heavy load of fuel. Liu, on the other hand, is a bit leaner. Goyena, on the other hand, is also very heavy. So lots of drivers are going to be pitting around lap 35 plus. So, as we are going to continue running this race, I am open to hearing other people's opinions in the chat, in the comments. So if you have anything to report, please let me know. I will try to essentially write home some extra needed information. So we're about to start lap 7. Jake Goodwin continues to set the fastest lap of the race, 1:34.245 this time. But this time, Liu and Daniel Goyena are able to slowly maintained the gap somewhat, all by around 2 seconds, but still, there's really not that close just yet. At any rate, Rio now trying to get closer to Sobyang in for the battle for 11th place. Meanwhile, we got Ed Sky starting from the back as well as Vlad the Mastev, doing very well to make a comeback. So there will be an investigation on Tyler Williams of whether or not he will be getting a penalty, but it will be checked on after the race, as Cesar Elia is now going to try to make her move against Tyler Williams. So we're going to take a short break from commentary to get some refreshments, so please stay tuned and don't go anywhere. There's still more racing action to come. Back at Motegi, and now we get to see Jacob Wynn continue setting fastest lap after fastest lap. He now sets a 1:34.0. That's just going to be a nice thing to see. Anyways, still pretty much unchanged. Looking into the running order, we're now coming into 8 laps complete here in Twin Ring Motegi in the finale Grand Prix at Motegi. Tsuyo Cup race. Man. So as you can see here, Richie is just going to try to clean up his lines as he's trying to chase Kamina Riba for 14th place. Riba needs to get a good on. He needs to get a move on if he wants to seal his Tsuyo Cup aspirations. But as it stands right now, he is not going to be in the position to do so. Speaking of which, another potential battle at the back at Sky and Vlasa Damaschev are still continuing their climb from the back. At Sky, of course, representing Kazama Iroha, who had just debuted a new outfit, so very nice to see. And also, it's going to be likely that the Hololive cars are going to stay in Twin Ring Motegi while the others are going to move back into storage, as they are going to be involved in some post-season testing, as well as, you know, have it be coincided with Hololive's 3rd anniversary live concert. as more drivers are going to continue on racing. Hoshizano Ryo currently in 12th, So Byung in 11th, Wajikowski 10th. Oh, here's someone going down the inside there, looking at Kizaru Leo's onboard. That's Tyler Williams trying to go down the inside of Alson Tannerau. Alright, so we're going to be also paying attention to other sets of circumstances surrounding their drivers. As you can see here, Williams trying to catch up to it. Or Williams just trying to catch himself into Tannerau's grasp, or rather trying to bring Tannerau into Williams' grasp. 50-kilogram grasp, that is. Anyways, we got Kizaru Leo now trying to poke his way into and also, with Daniel Barger out of the race, we are now down to 6 title contenders. Just wanted to also remind you all about that. Daniel Barger already needed a win and hoped that the others needed to falter if he wants to win the CO Cup title. Now the chances of him winning the CO Cup title is now down to 0 and still winless after 2 years. This is despite, so we say, fully committed to the right uniforms these days. Anywho, back into the title context. As it stands right now, Daniel Goyana will win the CO Cup with Jake Goodwin currently first. And especially given that Michael Turner is down in 13th and Kamen Riba down in 14th. So far as the realistic title contenders are concerned, Goyana is the only one inside the top 5, so it's going to be an interesting sight to see Daniel Goyana trying to win his first overall title, the CO Cup title. He did win the Split V title back last year, but now he wants to win something bigger. And of course, we already have a winner crown in the form of Yuta Asano, who won for Minato Aqua posthumously. At least posthumously in the case of Minato Aqua already retired at that time. So posthumous can be used for the post-graduation. Tyler Williams is using the previous helmet on this one due to forgetting the helmet that he is actually using the primary helmet. So again, apologies if that's going to be the case. As we got these drivers currently still barreling on the main straight. Still no changes in the running order. So we are just going to let this race run its course. As we're coming into the first fifth of the race. So long way to go though, so if you want to talk about anything. Oh, speaking of which, Tyler Williams is actually nudging into Antanaro, as Antanaro is actually losing a bit of a touch. So you have Tyler Williams not being afraid to give him the RG-Bargy, as Antanaro is going to try to bring in defense. And Tyler Williams should have the line. But Antanaro, going off into the curve, that should mean that Antanaro is going to lose a position. Tyler Williams is now up into 7th place. Look now, we have Kizaru Leo trying to get herself into 8th place against Antara, who's currently running in Leo who's currently running in 9th against Antara, who's running in 8th. We also have Kizaru Leo trying to catch up. Now going to come into the main straight into turn 1. Still not far enough. As he now comes into The lead cars, I just want to remind you, are currently only separated by just about 3, or rather about just about 5 seconds between each other, so there's lots of parity between the leaders. So here's Goodwin, Liu, Goyena, and Sakura now trying to make a chase between each other, as they are now trying to get themselves, but they're not getting themselves back into the oval. It's the oval infield, that is. You see the Goodwin now 134.43, 134.598, and 134.541 for Liu and Goyena respectively, so they are catching up slowly. Process of his over to the level 134.171. Gosh, not having the season that he wants in the Tsuyo Cup so far. And Tyler Williams currently running in 7th place. Williams now still trying to chase Tomoyuki Aoki, who's currently running in 6th place. We're coming into the month of December, and of course the season is just about coming to an end. We've run 20 races in the Formula Hololive Japan season. I just wanted to give a bit of a look back into how the season has went. Lorenzo Ricci and Rip Olver won in Sepang in the respective splits, and then we have Kamina Riba being the only JP winner from the Capture the Moment Grand Prix at Fuji. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'm just checking if we are dropping frames or not, but we are not actually dropping frames. OBS is not showing that we're dropping frames. So yeah, I don't think we have any problems. So yeah. Anyways, just wanted to point out a few things. And there's only one winner that came from the Capture the Moment Grand Prix at Fuji, and that was Kamina Riba. Plaza Damashev and Makarukusian won at Tsukuba. Plaza Damashev won again at the Suzuka May race, alongside Mamashaki Reza, who also grabbed his 3rd win of his career, and also in NSG's 3rd win of her Formula Hololive career. Lorenzo Ricci then won again at Sportsline Sugo, and Jake Goodwin actually won at Sugo as well in the sprint race, which essentially guaranteed the 2 drivers in Sugo's qualification for the Tsuyo Cup. And then Tochigi is Vlasa Domashnev winning in Tochigi, and then we have the Jufuten Raiden driver winning in Autopolis. And then we in the epilogue, the Autopolis Super League, we have Yuta Sano and Michael Turner winning at Tochigi, rather Autopolis. Although this will be one of 2 of Yuta Sano's wins. And Michael Turner, this will be his win to propel himself into championship contention. And then there's the epilogue Grand Prix Suzuka with Kamina Riba winning his 2nd of the season, beating Daniel Barger. And then we have Yuta Sano winning 2 in a row to probably seal his place at the top. And then we have Dylan Goyena winning at Okayama, and then also Sean Pauli winning at Okayama as well. Daniel Goyena to keep himself in the Tsuyo Cup title contention, well, within the realistic grasp of Tsuyo Cup title contention. And for Sean Pauli, he won at Okayama to put him to remain in contention with Yuta Sano for the Zako Cup. And now with the chapter of the Zako Cup essentially now settled, with Joshua Asahi winning at Motegi earlier this year. I mean, it's literally just yesterday. So anyways, we are now currently on lap 16, 15 laps complete, still a long way to go in this race. No pit stop activities to report. Goodwin, Leo, Goyena, and Sakura's gaps have ebbed and flowed so much, but you can see there's also a pretty decent gap between the top 5. You can see here Goodwin, Leo, Goyena, Sakura, and Horatio now ahead of Piauki by around 15 seconds. You can see here the tires are now starting to absolutely show a lot of wear. Misaki Sakura, of course, on the other hand, has inherited Shadon Reza's decals for when he was the 2023 champion. There's still a very slim chance that Sakura could win the Tsuyo Cup title if she can, at the very least, get into second place. And also have Goyena drop down the standings like flies. And assuming that Turner and Riva also don't score points. That's going to be Misaki Sakura, who will be able to defend the Formula Hololive title for Himori Luna. Misaki Sakura continues to barge her way into 4th place. Well, she is already in 4th, but she continues to make her mark into 3rd place. "17 laps complete." Jake Goodwin continuing to lead proceedings here in Twin Ring Motegi. Ooh, as usual, the curbs being very, very wild to these very twitchy cars. Again, no one wants the same, so I'm just going to fill in a lot of empty space as much as I can. Misaki Sakura now currently running in 4th place. As you can see here, she's just trying to absolutely make a name for herself. Of course, replacing Mohamed Shadon Reza and another driver for Himori Luna, and all the other drivers for Himori Luna. She's essentially the 3rd driver to race for the princess, as you can see here. Sakura obviously was a bit mad that she didn't have top 5 speed at Sportsline Tsugo for the 24-25 Hololive GT3 Japan Series season opener at Sportsline Tsugo. And now we get to see Misaki Sakura at the very least running in 4th place, so she's doing a very good job given the set of circumstances that she's been given right now. When will be the start of pit lane activities? So based on the indicators that it's going to be actually Kizuhara Leo who will be the first driver to come into the pits, but not before Raja Kaczynski, because look at Raja Kaczynski's fuel low. He's getting very low and he is going to run very, very lean. And as it stands, they will try to go for an undercut strategy in cool conditions, which is not very recommended due to the issues of tire warm-up when the situation is cold. as Misaki Sakura now tries to defend against Rusting Kurashio. Do you see how much Kurashio manages to close actually on the gap between Kurashio and Sakura? So Kurashio also has been racing with intent. Goyena meanwhile is dropping back, not catching up to Ryu and Jake Goodwin. The gap's now opened up to 6.5 seconds. Episode activities are going to be coming in very, very soon. We are going to be paying attention to Hoshizuna Ryo's advancements in the Hoshizuna Ryo is going to coming into the session here. Well, he's coming into this race, you know, having pretty lofty expectations from the Nakirigumi. Is it? Maybe? Yeah, you could say that. I mean, given that Ayame is also fully committed to the bright uniforms as of recently, you can probably give a case for the Hoshizuna Ryo on you know, in this regard as well. Kyle Williams now sets the fastest lap, 1:33.490 in a very interesting twist. Kyle Williams is going to be aiming for something big here as he is going to try to get closer to Tomoyuki Aoki. The gap's now dropped down to 1.4 seconds. Meanwhile, the gap between Goyena and Really is open up to 1.5 seconds. So it's now a league on their roll between the two. It's either going to be Jake Goodwin trying to ply his straight into winning the CO Cup by winning at Twinnering Motegi, which is also just so happens to be the closest racetrack to Gunma, which by right this would be Okamiyo's fall home race, not exactly her home race, but it's as closest to home, so we just call it her home race. So that's that for Jake Goodwin, and also there's the real possibility of trying to win the CO Cup. He was interviewed about his chances to win the CO Cup given his predicament. He's just said that he just wanted to do his best, and right now Goodwin is doing his best right now to stay in the lead at the moment, as we are still waiting for pit stop activity to properly start. And here comes Raichi Kaczynski coming in. Hoshizuna Ryo might also follow as well, but I think we're gonna have to wait until that's going to be the case, as you can see here. So Kaczynski coming into the pits will be a great time to understand how the undercut strategy is going to play out, as Kaczynski is going to spend a good amount of time in the pit lane at the moment. Olgor as well. Speaking of Olgor, he is down in 18th, and it doesn't look to me that he has made a pit stop just yet. And Kaczynski is not getting out just yet. He is going to spend a good amount of time in pits. Meanwhile, for the leaders, here's Jake Goodwin and Ryu. Kaczynski is finally just getting out of the pit lane right now, as he's going to make his way into the finish straight and into turn 1. Meanwhile, here's Ryu and Jake Goodwin. So this is going to be a bit interesting to see, given that Kaczynski is running at the back. And also just point out, Hoshizuna Ryo is actually much further back than Kaczynski. And if Ryo does pit right now, then it would mean that Ryo is going to exit ahead of the likes of the leaders, which is Jake Goodwin and Ryu. Still a long way to go in this race, as we now get to see Kizaru finally coming into the pits after 22 laps. Oh, and that's lost of the Moshnev. It looks to me there was contact at turn 11, and that would mean the Moshnev is beached into the gravel, and that will mean that his season is already over. The first driver out of title contention is now out of the race entirely, as Kizaru continues to remain stationary in the pits right now. Kizaru will go at the very least stay in 18th. Well, here's YJ Kaczynski, who have already made his pit stop. Here's Jake Goodwin and Ryu also making a move. Here's Kizaru still stationary until now. And it looks to me that Kaczynski has actually closed down the gap just a bit. So I think the Oka strategy might just be working, but actually, don't look now. Ryu is currently on the 100 against Jake Goodwin. As Jake Goodwin's gonna try to defend for all he can against fast charging Ryu, currently having a result to give it everything he's got in his final race for Sakamata Chloe. Jake Goodwin wants to win this race to give him the best chance to win the Tsuyo Cup. Title wins now has the fast line of anyone so far, 133.306. And now the race is heating up. Ryu and Michael Turner have set personal bests themselves, as the track is getting better and better for the cars. Despite the tires. Ryu still on the charge here against Jake Goodwin, but I think Ryu has kind of dropped back just a bit. Next stop will be Ryu coming into pit soon, but I'm before Ed Sky. So, which I think it's between Ed Sky and Vlasa Domashnev to explain how the Domashnev actually crashed out. And right now we are seeing the battle for the Tsuyo Cup take another turn. Later on, we're going to be seeing that. Goyena, slower than Misaki Sakura, so you can see Sakura is going to point herself into the podium at this rate. Meanwhile, we got Ryu now getting himself back into Goodwin. He is good in the first two sectors. Well, you can see here, sometimes he goes into very weird lines that opens up the gap once again. Not sure why that is the case. So we're gonna go on board Ryu to see how Ryu can get close to Jake Goodwin. On a charge right now, and they are going to do something about it. They are now really trying his best, but he is not getting close. He is still there, but not as close as you'd like. Right now the charge is going to be on Ryu on getting himself into Jake Goodwin to see if he's able to get closer and closer. Again, the line in that specific corner is haunting really right now as the gaps continue to open up once again. This guy is going to come into the pits this lap, and he will have a great chance of exiting right in front of the leaders, and this might cause trouble for Jake Goodwin, but it will cause a good amount of intrigue for Wei Liu as the gaps close up, and Relay might just be able to make an overtake. And here's the move. Sky coming into the pits. Cars already becoming stationary right now. The customary Rohan number 16 is currently being served. Here's Daniel Barger's stricken number 41 Suisei car. Here is Goodwin on the final corner. Here is Sky finally getting out on track. And this would mean that, yes, as we've mentioned, Sky has just exited in front of Jake Goodwin, and this will open the door for Ri Liu to take the race lead away. And as you can see here, we're going to be taking a look into Jake Goodwin's onboard. How much he's currently being held up, and that's going to be really trying to sneak up on the inside of Jake Goodwin. There, Goodwin trying to go around the outside of Sky, and Sky is more than happy to just hold off Jake Goodwin before he gets lapped. And as you can see here, Jake Goodwin is currently on the charge here, as he is now gonna try to find a way past Sky, but Ri Liu is currently waiting in the wings, waiting from the deep, if you can use that. And as anyways, Jake Goodwin is caught up to Ri Liu. Jake Goodwin, as Ri Liu is getting absolutely closer into the gaps of Jake Goodwin's gap. I can't try to think of better words here. But anyways, Wheeler's currently looking for anything in the space of Jake Goodwin. He's currently looking for anything for Ri Liu to exploit, any weaknesses in Jake Goodwin for Ri Liu to exploit, as he wants to try to get himself up front. Oh, hits the curb very aggressively there, Jake Goodwin. But also we wanted to pay attention to Ri Liu as well. So Jake Goodwin have a good run at the hairpin. Oh, he's overcooked it. Still not much separating between the two. Himself and Ri Liu. Very great stuff here. Looking into the other drivers who have already made the pit stop. Remember, DCM has already made his move, so we're probably going to be seeing even more variables coming in, as DCM is now coming in to the pits. Finally getting out though, but it will be too late though, as the leaders have already crossed them, have already passed DCM, so DCM will go a lap down. Fourteen drivers have yet to pit. Oh no, of course, Olga is the last driver running who has yet to pit, and the first driver who has already pitted is currently Ryan Kaczynski. And here comes Tyler Williams also coming in to serve his pit stop. But Tyler Williams will not be causing a lot of trouble to the leaders. And as you can see here, looking into the other drivers, they're all running pretty long races, all things considered, due to the gaps. Or just play along. And looking into the runs that these drivers are making, they are still going to go at it between each other as Leo finally comes into the pits. He will try to go for the undercut strategy. Jake Goodwin is going to go for the overcut strategy. Let's see if this strategy will be the race winner. So he is going to be expected to exit ahead of Sobyong, maybe just behind, so this will be a question mark as Leo finally gets out. Actually, he is going to exit ahead of Antanarao, so really didn't really spend a lot of time in the pit lane. He didn't spend a lot of time in the pit lane, but he is going to make things work. A slight lockout, that's not what you want from a driver who is going to vie for the race win here in Motegi. While Goodwin is not causing a lot of trouble to Ed Sky. Really way up in 6th place, and he does have a lot of clean air to use, so really is currently having one of the best advantages that he has at the moment. But we're gonna continue doing the stream, even though I feel very, very sleepy due to lots of reasons. I can't really expect much. Good to take a slight short commentary break from time to time due to one person. Just want to remind everyone that the potential battle between Rio and Turner, Richie and Williams. Williams has already made his pit stop. He also exits ahead of Rim Olgor. Speaking of which, Michael Turner and Hoshizuna Rio will be making their pit stop as we speak. So, and that's two of them all, and that's Michael Turner! Michael Turner! Has absolutely crashed on pit entry, and same goes for Hoshizuna Rio. It looks to me that both drivers were getting in at the same time. And that's Michael Turner out from the championship battle. Hoshizuna Rio also out of the race. And that's 4 more drivers out, and this will help the likes of Kaminai Reba possibly if he wants to have a shot at the title. But for Danilo Goyena, the road to the CO Cup has become very, very easy. It has become as easy as it gets. And now we got 2 more drivers coming into the pits. That's Misaki Sakura and Rustim Kurashia. This side, they don't have any problems coming in. Sakura coming in, Rustin Kurashio also coming in. George Allison and Tannerall still behind Liu. Liu is currently on the charge here and looking into the gaps between the drivers. Goodwin is currently only, just want to check the gap between Liu and Jake Goodwin. 30 seconds. So Liu has a realistic chance that he might be able to overtake Goodwin on pit stop strategy. And looking into Wheeler's speed, it's not 134.905. And Jake Goodwin's speed is not 134.0. It is still not the outcome Leo is looking for, but he is going to try absolutely everything to make sure that he brings the Sakamoto Chloe team one win in Formula Hololive at least. But we have to wait and see. We're now coming into the halfway stage of the finale Grand Prix at Motegi Tsuyo Cup race. And Ryu is going to give it all, as we've mentioned multiple times over. As usual, carrying a lot of speed on that turn 11. Tomoyuki Aki now sets a 133.038. And looking at Ryu now, let's see if he's able to set 133s to close back on the gap between himself and Jake Goodwin. He is only able to set a 134.7, so he is losing touch to Jake Goodwin. And as it stands in the Tsuyo Cup battle, Danilo Goyena is going to be your Tsuyo Cup champion, and with it, the 2024 Formula Hololive Japan champion. Still a long way to go in this race. As Goyena is just going to continue running his way into the win. Or the reward driver coming into the pits. That's Danilo Goyena and Hoshizuna Rio. So, or rather, it's just Danilo Goyena coming to the pits. So right now, Goyena is going to be called into the pits as we speak. So right now, we're going to be seeing if... Oh, that's now Goyena slamming into the wall, but I don't think there will be too much issues. 4 drivers are already, so one of them being the championship leader. Michael Turner, his championship run is now over. That is, if the other drivers are still going to score points. So we have 5 drivers from the 7 who came in as title contenders still remaining. Goyena now down in 6th place, behind Ryu, mind you, but that is to be expected. The gap's now open up to 31 seconds between Goodwin, Aoki, and Liu, as now we have Jake Goodwin stuck behind Ed Sky, so that might actually go into Ryu's slight advantage though, and actually it does come into Ryu's advantage. You can see here how much the gap has actually closed. Jake Goodwin will be hitting until probably the next 9 to 10 laps. So, still a long way to go in this race. Meanwhile, we got Jake Goodwin now losing a lot of time though against Ed Sky, and you can see here Jake Goodwin is getting very, very agitated, and this will only play into the hands of Ryu. And right now, Rim Olgor is going to be the next driver who will be called into the pits. As you see here, is going to come down into turn 3 and 4 to absolutely close down the gap between Goodwin and Ryu. This is what Ryu wanted to do in the first place, knowing that Ed Sky is going to block the way of Jake Goodwin. He actually, I believe, made the smart choice of hitting earlier than Jake Goodwin to essentially put him in a position to actually where he is going to get himself in a realistic position to win the Tsuyo Cup race. As Olgor finally gets out He will, in theory, come out ahead of Sky, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Olgar is going to be another driver a lap down. Jay Goodwin is going to have another problem on his hands. Gaps dropped down to 29 seconds between Jay Goodwin and Ri Liu, and it's gonna be tight. And right now we have Al Santero and Lorenzo Ricci now being called into the pits as well. Jay Goodwin is gonna be sometime soon, as you now get to see Antero and Ricci. Soon enough, it's going to be Ricci joining Antero, coming into the pits. Still a few drivers who have yet to make a pit stop. They were going to be paying attention to Sobyang and Jay Goodwin. We also have Kaminai Riba and also Tomoyuki Aoki, and that's pretty much it. Here's Ricci now getting his car serviced. Here's the Al Santero getting out, and there's just a lot of open space for him, and he now exits in 10th place. As you can see here, the gap between Goodwin and Ri Liu are still at 29 seconds, but it is closing down very quickly. It was at 31, now it's 30, now it's 29.5, now it's 29.2, as Goodwin is only able to set it to 34.253, as he is now getting himself back into the fight as much as he can, as Tomoyuki Aoki now comes into the pits. It's not going to be straight up a fight between Jay Goodwin and Ri Liu for the final win of the 2024 Formula Hololive Japan season. And you see Goodwin and Liu are only able to match each other, so lots of cause to be concerned. Sobyang currently in 3rd place. Goyena 4th, Sakura 5th, and Sakura, I believe, has already made her pit stop as well. Yeah, she already made her pit stop. And that's a Russian Karasio overtaking Tomoyuki Aoki, fellow Hololive's teammate. And right now, there's still a long way to go. 29 seconds is now the gap between Ri Liu and Jay Goodwin. Jay Goodwin continues to be under pressure as he now finally gets the call into the pit lane, but will it be enough? As you can see here, he just doesn't need to make any more mistakes coming into pit entry, as he's now being ordered to come into the pits right now. This pit stop will be very crucial in deciding who will win the finale Grand Prix at Motegi, a CO Cup race. This is going to be tight though. Ri Liu is already in the back straight. Jay Goodwin is already stopping for fuel and tires. Ri Liu needs to get a grip on here. He needs to go at it in these final 4 corners. Jay Goodwin is finally out. Ri Liu is in the back straight. Jay Goodwin is going to be holding on to this race lead. And with the fresher tires, this would mean that Jay Goodwin is going to be in a serious position to win his 2nd race of the season, and potentially the win that will put him on top of the CO Cup. That is, if Goyena doesn't finish inside the top 5, at the very least given the circumstances. Looking into the gap between Jay Goodwin and Goyena, it's at 120 points. 80 points more for Daniel Goyena will be enough. And the difference between the win and the other positions must be over 130 points. So we are probably going to take a look into possibly 7th or 8th for Daniel Goyena if Goodwin wants were to win the CO Cup. He is going for a valiant effort to get himself back into contention, but you can see here it is not going for it. as you can see here. But then again, there's also Maverick, DuCM, and other drivers who have yet to make a pit stop. Although DuCM has already set a personal best. And into the start-finish straight. And you can see here Jay Goodwin. This is where we are able to see the pace unlocked for Jay Goodwin now. You can see. Let's see how much closer these leaders are to catching back the lap cars. .7 seconds now separate between Jay Goodwin and Ri Liu, and it's going to be at the very least a valiant effort for Ri Liu to get that car on the front row and to have that car finish second. A podium would still be very good, but again, imagine if it would be a win for Ri Liu in of course, Ri Liu and Sakamata Close's final Formula Hala Japan race. They've done so well in the season so far. Of course, Ri Liu took over from the 2023 Formula Hala Japan season, essentially replacing, to my knowledge, another driver. So you can see here Ri Liu just being a dedicated Sakamata Chloe driver all around. He, I believe, does have a pole position. No, he does not have a pole position, nor does he have a win. So, which is very, very unfortunate here. But at the very least, he should have solace into knowing that he has made a great run for the team in general. 25 laps to go here in Twin Ring Motegi, and it's still anyone's game as to who is going to be making out of here. So Byung-eun is just been beaten by Tyler Williams, who is now currently up in 8th place. Out of the way, let's see where the drivers are yet to make a pit stop. Kaminai Rebel, who's currently up in 7th place. And looking at Daniel Goyana though, Goyana is running a very interesting race here, currently running 3rd place. If a crash happened right now and Daniel Goyana is out of the race, we could come in at Riba looking to finish below the top 10. This would mean that Jake Goodwin will be winning the CO Cup. Looking at Lorenzo Ricci, who's currently down to 11, and Misaki Sakura, who's currently running in 4th. And actually, speaking of Misaki Sakura, Sakura's gap to essentially the rest of the field is only under 100 points. So Misaki Sakura might actually take the title after all. So Goodwin will have 507 points. Misaki Sakura will be bringing in 130, which is not going to be enough actually, given the circumstances right now. Sakura probably needs a 3rd place to get herself into the CO Cup win. And as for Goyena, who is going to have a chance to end the season at 571 points, it will still be Daniel Goyena's title as Kamen Riba finally comes into the pits. Car service. He will be around he will be at around 10th or 11th place, as he's now currently in 11th. Goodwin has opened the gap to Ri Liu by 5.9 seconds. Here's Maverick DuCM. Here's Jake Goodwin. 41 laps already, as you can see here. Goodwin still in control of this race. Guy currently 14th in the current race so far, doing very well to climb. Given the circumstances that he's had, he started last. He's now gained 6th position from the start, excluding the safety car. Lorenzo Ricci started 16th, he's now up in 10th. Crasio started in 8th, he's now up into 5th, and the top 4 can remain where they were at the start of the race. And you can see here, Sky is now going to chase Raja Kaczynski for position, and you can see here they are getting closer and closer. Speaking of which, Sakura and Goyena, they're also trying to get close to each other. And you can see here, Jacob only sets it to 34.249. This will be interesting to see how Ridley sets it up. 134.643, so was already slower than Jake Goodwin by many metrics. This is my for DCM. Here's Jake Goodwin. So lap cars are not going to be playing a massive role in the race so far just yet. Well, you can see here. And then we have Misaki running 4th, Karashio 5th, Aoki 6th, Williams 7th, Young 8th, and Tara running 9th place, Lorenzo Ricci 10th, we got 11th and 12th. Kizuhara Leo. We're about to get into 20 laps to go, and it's going to be a very interesting sight to see on how the race has gone on. I also had to note that Hololive is currently an ever-changing atmosphere. Of course, there are teams that are going to be built within the confines of Hololive, and there are compromises and sacrifices that needed to be done. Let's just hope that the sustainability of these tiles are going to be maintained. Meanwhile, there's Raja now trying to still remain ahead of that Sky after all this. Ooh! That's a lockup there by Raja Kaczynski. As Kaczynski still remains in 13th place ahead of that Sky. And then there's also the likes of Wim Olgo currently running in 15th and Maverick DCM in 16th. Speaking of which, there's no driver, I believe, we are within a second of each other other than Kaczynski and Sky. So the race might be done and dusted right here and then. But I like to hope that there are some last lap surprises, if you will. If there's anything going on. Jake Goodwin 134.191. Meanwhile, we have Ray Liu saying in a 134.835. So you can see here, Ray Liu has lost a lot of time to Jake Goodwin ever since Goodwin has been ahead of Ray Liu. So this is not the strategy Ray Liu is hoping for, but he should at the very least have Solus, as we mentioned, given his statistics so far in the season. So there's that guy now trying to make something happen against Raijin Kaczynski. We are now coming into 20 laps to go here in Twin Ring Motegi, and right now the race is still going on as per usual, as the drivers continue to race their way into a lot of the things that we're seeing here. Jake Goodwin with a 135.075 as well. Oh, Jake Goodwin 135.075, and right now Lee is slowly catching up, 134.813. Here we have Ryu just doing everything he can to get closer and closer and closer to essentially Jake Goodwin, because, you know, continue to drop down. It's now at 7.7 seconds, so really continuing to make a climb for himself. I think Goodwin has already caught up into WCM, and I don't think he's that far from WCM. WCM and Olga are also bunched up between each other, so you can. I think there might be something spicy coming up in the final laps. Meanwhile, Ricci is getting close to Alson Taro for 9th place. And Taro, after having a very dismal season so far, after having a dismal season in the 2024 Hololive GT3 Japan Series, he is going to try to, at the very least, let's finish by being very decent in Formula Hololive Japan. But we'll have to wait and see, as usual. There's still lots going on here in this race. We have Taro still in 9th. Riva still in 11th. So it's now going to be a 3-horse race for 9th place as Taro continues to stay in 9th. Guys looking for a move against Kaczynski. Ryu is now absolutely clawing his way back into a potential battle with Jake Goodwin. Here's the lap cars that might be the issue for Jake Goodwin, as you can see here. 4 seconds, I believe, is the gap between Jake Goodwin and the rest of the field. Jake Goodwin is only able to set a 34.3. How will Ryu respond? 134.1. All is not lost just yet, as the Orca Racers, the Sheik, they are gonna be pinning their hopes on Ryu to try to get this one last win. Ryu still going at it once again. And the gas just continue to close down. It's now 7 seconds flat. Oh, well, almost flat. But you can see here how much Goodwin is struggling with the tires that he's had. But really, you just having even worse tires is actually doing better. Is this something? Are these that science cannot explain? Here's DCM. And you can see here, Jay Goodwin has absolutely caught up to the lap cars on a rate of not, and this will not help Goodwin's advancements. Goyena still stuck in, is still in third place, so the Tsuyo cut will still go to him and Usada Pecora. Meanwhile, for the overall win, mostly for the win alone here in the finale Grand Prix at Motegi, this is the Tsuyo Cup race. 134.0 for Goodwin, 134.0 for Ri Liu, as Goodwin was, he set a 134.5, so he lost like half a second. So it's going to be very interesting to see coming into these final sets of last 16 laps to go here in Twin Ring Motegi. Here, Goodwin is getting oh so closer to the lap cars, and he just wants to make sure that he's able to pass them quickly and cleanly. And if he's able to do that, then it's going to be a nice thing to do. Still dropping down to 6.1 seconds as he is now formally coming into the clutches of the lap cars. He loses gap now. He loses gap to Goodwin, now drops down to 5.8 seconds. We could be seeing another fairy tale finish here in Formula Hololive Japan, but this time at Twin Ring Motegi. If you can see here, Riley has absolutely picked up the ante. 133.78. Riley is on a charge. And as you can see here, oh, Goodwin's currently being blocked. He's currently being blocked. And the gas dropped down to 5.1 seconds. And the gas now dropped down to 4.7 seconds. It's not over yet for Ri Liu to try to grab one last win. And Goodwin continues to struggle. 135.807, 134.103 for Ri Liu, and he just continues to make a charge for himself. And he's like, "Oh my goodness, that's a massive." And you can see here, Jay Goodwin just continues to absolutely struggle to overtake Maverick DCM, and this will again play in the hands of Ri Liu, who is currently now, who we thought who was out of the running entirely for the win here in Twin Ring Motegi, but now he's back. And the gap's now dropped down to less than 3 seconds. coming into the final 14 laps of as you can see here, now the route dropped down to 2.2 seconds, as you can see. And right now the gas now dropped down to less than 2 seconds. Still a lot to play for, as we've mentioned multiple times over. And who knows what we're going to see here. And now you can see really having the fastest lap that he's ever had so far. Was he saving his best tricks for last? Just like talk about the Chloe. And now we are sort of speaking with another potential battle here we're looking at. We have Kamina Riva and Lorenzo Ricci now going side by side. Two Italians in aero competitions going at it. The two Italian aero drivers driving the Laras, also made in Italy. And as you can see here, they're both of them getting much of a time between each other. As you can see, Riva and Ricci, it's now Riva up in 10th place. And you can see here, Goodwin continues to struggle behind DuCM. Goodwin is getting desperate. He's getting impatient. And as he continues to make these silly mistakes, that's going to open the door for Ri Liu. A lot of things to play for, as we've mentioned multiple times over. Again and again and again and again. Goodwin to Tsuyo aspirations might still be dead. But by virtue of Daniel Guyana finishing third. But at the very least, he wants trying to win his second win for Okaimiyu and his first and only in the CO Cup phase. At least for this season, that is. Anyways, looking at Ri Liu, who is now almost closed the gap that Jay Goodwin has built. It's going to come down to possibly a single mistake from all the drivers in front, maybe really himself, and that will again change the complexion of how the fight for the race win is going to go. We have 12 laps to go here in Twin Ring Motegi, and it's still basically anything. It's still basically anything that can happen. Everything's still on the cards. As you can see here, if Goodwin doesn't manage his pace against the DuCM, then it's going to cause him a lot of trouble. It's all going to come down to a simple mistake that will possibly undo all of the efforts done by a single driver to try to bring one last hurrah. If Danilo Guyana crashes, and of course, we have another battle going on. This time we have Antara and Riva trying to defend against each other. This time Riva actually going ahead of Antara to get into 9th place. It's still not going to go to Riva. You do to go. No, there's contact. That's Andalusia and Antara making contact with Lorenzo Ricci. It looks to me that they both banged wheels and Antara went off. With essentially with 2 wheels on the track, and he was airborne in some respects. And oh my goodness! Yeah, he was spun by Lorenzo Ricci and then got tipped over slightly. And right now, we're not there. And right now, everything is currently being thrown into. Liu is still trying to find something against Jay Goodwin. Goodwin now is not catching DuCM. Both of them need to catch DuCM and to essentially struggle behind him if both of them were to essentially. Well, both of them were to essentially get themselves back at the race. Not exactly, but to essentially have a massive lead lap battle for the ages. So Taro is your next confirmed DNF, unfortunately. Still 15 other cars running in the race. Ducian is picking up the pace. Very interesting thing to see. Given also, just want to remind everyone that given that Motegi is very technical, the high downforce option is usually the preferred option. 135.0 for Ducia, 135.2 for Goodwin, 135.1 for Riliu. But we're closing down between Goodwin and Riliu. Speaking of which, the Luna drivers, Sakurai is still having a pretty lonely race, but it is getting close to Danilo Goyena to try to get the final podium position. Oh, this time it's very, very close. This time it's very, very close. If Goodwin suddenly gets wide, then it's going to be Riliu taking the scraps. And you can see here, Goodwin just excelled at the tight sections here. But then again, it could also go down to Riliu just struggling to get the grips in that section. Goodwin still has the overall tire advantage. And as you can see here, the lap car situation is still between Olgar and Ducia, and then we have Jake Goodwin and Riliu. Lap 56, and it's still pretty much on as a contest. Sakurai now sets a personal best to try to get herself into Danilo Goyena's rear end. It's gonna take all going to set 136s. For the two leaders to essentially converge once again. Again, Riliu itself in turn 5, but just isn't able to get closer in other sections. Like in this sweeper, of course, Riliu is going to lose some time. You see here, in other sections like this, he is going to lose a similar amount of time, but the gaps have kind of closed down. It's actually smaller compared to last lap. And now we have Jake Goodwin being stuck. Jake Goodwin is stuck behind the lap cars, and Riliu, I think, has a great run, a great exit from the turn 10 hairpin and into turn 11. Will he go down the inside? About the time is now for Riliu to attack and strike to give it everything he's got for Sakawa to close his final race in aero competition. Well, in Formula Hololive, that is. There's still the Hololive GT3 race in Okayama to deal with for Sakamata Chloe's actual final race. And now Riliu is going to be charging at Jay Goodwin again and again and again. And as you can see here, the gap just hasn't opened up. It's actually closed down. Goodwin doesn't have a good exit off of turn 3. And this is where Riliu absolutely excels, but I'm not sure if this is the place where he can excel. He does lose a good amount of time on that part of the racetrack specifically. And Riliu still trying to keep tabs of what Jake Goodwin might do with Kamen River. Now setting the fastest lap, 132.966 for the Shishiron driver. And now, this is a very, very great launch by Riliu. He might think of actually getting a decent exit off of the hairpin. Oh no, he's going to go for down the inside at the hairpin. And you can see here that caused some trouble to Jake Goodwin. But you can see here Riliu's intention to win this race, the Motegi race, the finale Grand Prix at Motegi Tsuyo Cup race. Goodwin just wants to get ahead of Maverick Duciem so bad, but he also needs to pay attention to Relyu's advancements. Relyu's charge. This is currently Relyu's best race of Sakamoto Chloe that he's ever had at the moment, actually being the race at this very track in Hololive GT3 just around 3 months ago. Seven laps to go here in Twin Motegi for the 2024 Formula Hololive Japan season. And right now it's still pretty much close and essentially an open contest. But now we see Danilo Goyena and Misaki Sakura now joining in on a fight. Any potential crash between the four, well, especially between Jay Goodwin and Danilo Goyena, and it will also be a massive swing in the championship standings. You already have Michael Turner out of the race. Cameron Riba, meanwhile, is currently in 9th place. And Rylyu now has been able to get herself close to Jay Goodwin and Maverick Duciem once again. .135.212 for Goodwin, 135.428 for Rylyu, 133.908 and 710 for Goyena and Sakura respectively. Still lots to play for here in Formula Hololive Japan. So we got two cars waiting to be lapped. 4 cars on the lead lap, now separated between only 4 seconds between each other, I believe, or that 5 seconds. And now you get to see Rylyu being under pressure from Danilo Goyena. This is not going to be looking good for the Shiku. And you can see how much the gap has opened up between Rylyu and Jay Goodwin once again. But you can also get to see here Duciem and Olgor actually finding pace once again. They are now setting lap times at around 134. Really needs to respond with that same lap time as well if he wants to get closer to Jay Goodwin once again. We're coming into 5 laps to go here in Twin Ring Motegi, and still it's going to be close and tight. Oh yeah, you can see here that is Goodwin trying to get absolutely close there to Duciem. 5 laps to go here in Twin Ring Motegi. 5 laps to go before we finish off the season that started since February. And you can see it's another 134 for Rim Olgor and Maverick Duciem, and Jay Goodwin is currently slightly losing time to Rylyu now as he was held up behind by Maverick Duciem. Rylyu has older tires than Riba. I just want to remind you all that. Oh, and that's actually Jay Goodwin trying to go around the outside of actually Maverick Duciem, and that might be the move that seals it for Jay Goodwin. Yeah, it was Maverick Duciem that went off wide. And now it's going to be Rylyu now trying to repay the favor as he's now going to go down the inside. And Rylyu is going to try to go alongside to keep his hopes alive for Sakamata Chloe and for her and for all of her assistants that have raced her through hard times. As Rylyu is going to be making his intentions clear. He's now in 2nd place and Danilo Goyena is being blocked. Coming into the final corners, Danilo Goyena is under pressure by Maverick Duciem. They're going to be neck and neck, these two drivers coming into turn 1. Meanwhile, we're coming into 4 laps to go. Ryu's chances are still there for everyone to see. Oh, and Daniel Goyena's is sliding. This is not going to look good for Daniel Goyena. Side by side into turn 3. Goes off wide there, Goyena. And Misaki Sakura is not going to be in the mix to get 3rd place. It's all going to be changing in the flick of a switch. Both the drivers are going to be making contact. They're close to making contact. Jake Goodwin is having a lots of free air to basically maintain his lead. We're going to see if we are able to get the internet back to work, as we are going to be trying to reconnect everything back. Internet's very slow at the moment. Alright, so we're now finally able to get ourselves back online. Unfortunately, due to the internet, we have to pause the stream a bit. But now we are going to resume with about 4 laps to go. So anyways, I'm going to hold my breath. I am going to hold my breath as we are still seeing red and yellow in the OBS. Okay, we're now back to green, and right now it's going Daniel Goyena, who had a massive scare on that lap 61 to Misaki Sakura actually causing lots of trouble for her, and now it's going to be Goyena trying to go at it again. Jake Goodwin, meanwhile, is going to have a pretty good cushion between himself and Ryu coming into the final 3 laps of this race. On these final 3 laps of this race, it's still going to be Jake Goodwin in complete control of this race. 134.14 for Ryu, as they're now unleashed once again. Rasho having a very great race at the moment here. Now he's going to be a potential battle for the top 5. Rasho currently in 5th, Sakura 4th. Goyena still trying to find some way to get past Maverick DCM. Ryu still in 2nd place. Lap 62 is going to be a case of just wanted to pay attention to any remaining battles that may come in this race. We're now at lap 62. Coming into lap 63, Jake Goodwin just needs to keep these 2 laps crisp and clean. Releases gap to Jake Goodwin still at a very interesting site, as Orwell now has a personal best. 134.2 for Goodwin, 134.2 for Ryu. It's not going to be enough. At Autopolis, we get to see a fairy tale ending for Minato Aqua's Hololive career, with Ms. Hyota Sano winning at Autopolis days before Aqua made her graduation stream. Unfortunately for Ryu, in the final Formula Hololive race, given the priorities of the Hololive members going for the bright uniforms, Ryu is going to fall short of winning in his final race for Sakamata Chloe. Misaki Sakura is getting close there to Daniel Goyena. If a crash happens between Sakura and Goyena, then it's going to be Lorenzo Ricci winning, or rather it's Kamen River winning the Tsuyo Cup title. cleaning up the gap to Guyana. He's doing very well to maintain the gaps here, but we'll have to wait and see. As you can see, Really is now closed down the gap to Jay Goodwin by quite the amount, but let's see if he's able to close it down to around 5/10 of a second coming into the final lap, which I think is going to be impossible. Apologies, there's a slight lag here as again more ping issues start to come as we're now finally coming into the final lap of the season here. We are going to be paying attention to certain situations here. Well, actually, we're going to have to pause. Again, the internet just doesn't work. So we are going to have a slight pause for a while as we are going to remedy the issue. To essentially get ourselves back. So anyways, we are going to be paying attention to the bit rate. We are going to be paying attention to the bit rate here, and we are still doing pretty okay at the moment. We are going to be at a comfortable it's still pretty comfortable at the I think we're looking at the megabits per second. It's still not good enough. So I'm just going to record the final lap just in case if the internet fails anyway, because we cannot actually proceed to go on with this any further. So we are just going to continue the stream as usual. So here's the final lap. Goodwin just needs to defend his 1.7 second gap to Ryu if he wants to secure his second win of the season. Ryu needs to hope for a miracle for him to get his win for Sakamata Chloe. Danilo Guyana, on the other hand, is currently having one hand on the title, and he wants to have another. Oh, and that's Maverick CM struggling in that corner, which might actually open up something against, might actually open up something for Misaki Sakura against Danilo Guyana. Jay Goodwin only needs 5 more corners for him to make history, not exactly make history, but to put himself amongst the multiple-time race winners in Formula Hololive Japan. As the internet continues to cause trouble, we are recording this just in case. Jay Goodwin coming to the final 4 corners. Uchidayo goes Okami Mio when she wants to introduce everyone to the stream. Let's introduce Goodwin into the top step of the podium once again as the Miofa scores his second win of the season here in Twin Ring Motegi. He wins the finale Grand Prix at Motegi Tsuyo Cup race. Ryu finishes second for Sakamata Chloe, and here is Danilo Guyana who wins the 2024 Formula Hololive Japan Tsuyo Cup, and with it, he is your 2024 Formula Hololive Japan champion. We are recording this again just in case the Wi-Fi has not cooperated with us. We are going to be posting this replay on YouTube. Misaki Sakura finishes 4th after a valiant effort to chase Guyana. Crashio 5th, Aoki 6th, Williams 7th, Byung In 8th, Reba 9th, Richie 7th, Leo 11th, Kazuki 12th, set to be finishing 12th, Sky 13th, Ducia finishes 1 lap down in the last points position, and Rima Olga will be finishing as the second last driver on the points, the last driver on the lead lap. So just a reminder that we are recording this part just to make sure that everyone is just going to make sure that we are able to crown the champion in a natural manner, that is. So anyways, the season about to come to a close. And that's going to be Rim Olgo crossing the line, and that will be session over. Jake Goodwin wins his second Formula Hololive race for Okami-Mio. Okami-Mio grabs her third, with Ryu in his final race for Sakamoto Chloe. It was a valiant effort for him, but it just wasn't meant to be this time. But a second place is again very, very nice to see. Daniele Goyena finishing third for Sada Pecora, and with it he will secure the 2024 Formula Hololive Japan Tsuyo Cup and become the winner, and in turn becoming the winner of the 2024 Formula Hololive Japan season. Saki Sakura finishes 4th on her Formula Hololive debut for Himura Luna, with Russell Karashio 5th and 6th for Tamayuki Aoki for Lap of Darkness and Takani Loi respectively. Tyler Williams 7th for Amane Kanata, Sobyang, and 8th for Shinoi Flair. Cabernet Reba and Lorenzo Ricci did their best to keep themselves in winning contention, but it just wasn't enough. Reba 9th for Shirabotan, and 10th to Lorenzo Ricci for Mohosho Marine. Kizaru 11th for Murasaki Shion, with Raji Kazuki 12th for Yuzuki Choko, Ed Sky 13th for Kazuma Iroha, Rem Olgo 14th for Ozora Subaru, Maverick DCF 15th for Omar Polka. Also in town, the first driver out of the points, that is for Nakamata Kai, with Hoshizono Rio 17th for Nakiri Ayame, Michael Turner 18 for Shogari No 19, going to car number 19, Vlasa Domashnev for Aki Rosatal, and Daniel Barger 20th for Hoshimachi Suisei. So that out of the way, we're going to be taking a look into the replay actually. So I want to hear your thoughts of the race. Again, we apologize for the stream having internet issues. We are going to be uploading the final laps and the final parts of the stream on YouTube, just to make it fair for everyone. So if you want to know what happened to Daniel Barger, here are the scenes of him. So it's actually Tyler Williams. Actually, it is Tyler Williams ramming into the back of Daniel Barger. So yeah, I think we will be giving a penalty to Tyler Williams, 30-second time penalty for Williams. Oh man, yeah,